In this video, we're going to be talking about anxiety, how to overcome it, and how it can affect the law of attraction. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for future videos on the law of attraction. Also, check out my Facebook and Instagram page at Divine Alchemy 1111, where I help you create the reality that you want. And now, back to the video. Hello and welcome to my channel, Divine Alchemy. My name is Jason, where I help you create the reality that you want. So in this video, we're going to be talking about anxiety and how to overcome it. Now, I know in today's society right now, there's a lot of things that are going on. It can be, kind of troubling for some, and especially when people can be kind of sensitive to their energies and their elements and all that stuff, where the anxiety can skyrocket. Now, the thing with anxiety is that it could have been that you were programmed at a young age of some form of belief that internalized in you, and then you unconsciously started becoming that person or started becoming more fearful of stuff. And the thing too is that when you start focusing on negative stuff, and especially stuff that brings you anxiety, well, it doesn't take very long for other thoughts to start popping in and start creating this huge mountain of panic, thoughts, and fears. And most of the time, all that stuff is not even real whatsoever. That's why they say fear is false evidence of appearing real. And that is very true for the most part. But it could also be very, scary to deal with, because the mind is one big trickster to begin with. So in order to help, I shouldn't say stop anxiety, but how to overcome it to where when you feel it happening, you implement the tools and it will start decreasing and subsiding. And the more you start implementing tools, as such, you start taking your power back. And when you start taking your power back, you start to run into situations, people, places, and things that you'll have better outcomes with. Because if you're constantly thinking of negative thoughts that are anxiety ridden, that will start creating your outer reality. The brain thinks of 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are negative. And why is that so? It's because you're constantly being bombarded with all this negative stuff on TV or what's on social media or what's on the news, and you're not even being aware of that. You are subconsciously being programmed. But the more you notice that, that's what those social media or the news is designed to do, is to keep you in fear, because it sells. Fear sells. They make money off of your anxiety, and then when you start internalizing that in your subconscious mind, that starts to become your outer reality. You start to become less bold, less daring, less outgoing, with a not so much of a positive mindset. So when it comes to anxiety, you want to, when you feel it happen, because your body starts feeling like as if it's actually in that event, and it may not even be true, because it's living in a thought. The thought pops in your mind, and then your body feels like as if it's there. It doesn't know the difference. So one of the best ways that I've learned to overcome my anxiety, especially me, having to deal with going to combat twice, while being in the Marines and all that, and then when getting out, I had to do a lot of inner work in my mind. But the biggest thing that helped me out is the art of detaching. Now, when you detach, that does not mean to detach your emotions and become cold. It basically means that you want to start becoming the observer of these thoughts. And the more you start becoming the observer, like, here is you, here is this traumatic event here, but then on the third spectrum is you watching from like the bleachers or the stadium seats. And when you start observing yourself from that sort of technique, then it really starts to get you to not judge the emotions that are flowing through you right now whenever you come across a certain event that may bring you anxiety, like crowds. When people start feeling that, they are projecting most of the time false thoughts on somebody else and false judgments. And that person or that whole group of people may be not even thinking remotely what you are thinking. Actually, I guarantee that they are not. But you're creating this image in your mind in this like vivid movie that's not even true whatsoever. So one of the things is that you want to check in with yourself and ask, is this real? And if it's not, which it most likely isn't, then you start creating that gap of self-regulation. And when you start self-regulating, that's where you start taking your power back, and you literally start reprogramming the cells in your body that were so programmed to feel these stress hormones on the drop of a dime. Now it's going to start decreasing. Now it's gonna take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. Like I said, if you do like a 5, 10, 15-minute meditation, or you listen to affirmations at night before you go to bed, you are reprogramming the neurons in your brain, and you're also reprogramming the cell structure in your body to start lowering down that stress response, the fight or flight response. And the thing too is that if you're constantly living in fear or anxiety, you will start getting addicted to it. A lot of people, they don't realize that those emotions are so addictive. They start getting comfortable in that. And when they start getting comfortable in that, your subconscious mind starts searching for things that will reaffirm that reality. And once that happens, that's what will start to create your outer reality, which is nothing but doom, gloom, anxiety, and all sorts of chaos that people would rather not want to have. And I truly believe by nature that we are peaceful beings searching for the peace and serenity that we all deserve, but a lot of people are not aware of how their subconscious mind works. So along with that, it's going to take some time and practice. And if we want results, you got to put in some effort to it. There's going to be times to where you may not feel like you're getting anywhere. That's perfectly fine, because your body is changing, so it's letting you know that it's working. You just keep at it little by little by little. And then another thing that I like to do is challenge myself. When I challenge myself, like, all right, I don't like going into crowds, for example, but I'm going to go to the store where there's a lot of people, and I have to overcome this, because no one's going to cure your anxiety through a pill or whatever it is. It's ultimately you that has to overcome it. And little by little, if you start chipping away at the bit, it will go away if you keep practicing it. It may take quite a while, but I'd rather have it take quite a while than me do nothing at all, because if I don't do anything whatsoever, the universe is very intelligent. If I am not making an effort to better myself, something will happen to me, and I've seen this time and time again, that will either jar you or scare the crap out of you to say, hey, you need to, get off your butt and start working toward this goal to start bettering yourself. Because I truly believe that we came into this time-space reality to, one, discover who we truly are, but that was part of the contract that we signed before, incarnating into this body, is that here are these set of rules. You have to learn about yourself, and inspire other people and learn as much as you can about yourself. But if you just stay stagnant and not do anything whatsoever and take ownership of your own self, either if you have a shortcoming, you got to own it up. You got to own it. And if you don't, again, something will happen to you to say, hey, it's all out of love, not out of punishment, but something will happen to say, hey, maybe I really need to take a good look in myself to start becoming a better person, or just more and more doing the right thing. And you don't have to conquer Rome all in one day. So anxiety, it's a simple process, but it just takes time, and it's a little bit tedious. But if you don't do anything whatsoever, well, that's going to start creating more and more of this outer reality where, you could be living the life that you want and owning up to yourself, because ultimately at the end of the day, no one is responsible for your happiness, your health, wealth, abundance, love. It's all up to you. Certain people, it may take a little bit more time, but that's perfectly fine. That was a part of their chosen path when they came here to discover this stuff. So again, If you like this video, please hit the like, subscribe, bell notification for future content to help you create the reality that you want. Thank you very much. Blessings.